Hi there, Spark fans. Rob Reynolds here once again. As I'm sure you're aware, we have a lot of sensors on our site. And probably the biggest category for us is environmental sensors. And within that category, I think we have more temperature sensors than any other kind. And why not? Temperature sensors are easy to use, simple to read. What's the temperature? Oh, that's the temperature. Right, that easy. But temperature can also be one of the more important things to monitor. In an industrial setting, I know that my machinery has an optimal operating temperature, and to be able to monitor and maintain that can save me time, money, and wear and tear on my equipment. Or maybe I want to keep an eye on the temperature in and around my 3D printer just to alert me in case of thermal runaway, which can be a huge problem. Or maybe I just want to keep a running log of the temperature in my cabin out in the woods. Well, all of these can be taken care of with the temperature sensor. And this week we're introducing a new one to our symphony of sensors. Allow me to present the new SparkFun Temperature Sensor STTS22H on either our classic 1" by 1" Qwiic footprint or the new, much tinier micro footprint. These boards feature the STTS22H Temperature Sensor from ST Microelectronics, an ultra-low-power, high-accuracy digital temperature sensor offering high performance over the entire operating temperature range. What's that temperature range, you ask? Well, this sensor's operating temperature spans from -40 degrees Celsius to plus 125 degrees Celsius. That's -40 to plus 257 Fahrenheit, with a max temperature accuracy of plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius between -10 and positive 60 degrees Celsius, and 16-bit temperature data output. The sensor runs on a supply voltage from 1.5 to 3.6 volts DC, with output data rates of 1 Hz, 25 Hz, 50 Hz, 100 Hz, and 200 Hz. And in one-shot mode, this sensor will draw only 1.75 microamps. The sensor is factory calibrated and NIST traceable and offers multiple I2C addresses. The I2C address of both boards is 0x3C by default, but the 1x1 board has 3 other addresses the board can be configured to use, while the Micro has 1 other address available. And finally, the standard Qwiic Breakout board has a pair of horizontal Qwiic connectors, as well as the pins broken out at 0.1" spacing for breadboarding. The Micro Breakout has but a single horizontal Qwiic connector. That ultra-low power consumption is a huge plus for this little sensor, and the fact that it offers a one-shot measuring option means that if you only need to take the temperature, say, once an hour, it's going to be a full 3.5 weeks before the sensor draws a full milliamp. And that makes it ideal for long-term battery-powered projects or projects that maybe don't live in such an easily accessible place. Now, if you're using this to prototype and are concerned about size and weight, the sensor itself measures just 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters by 0.5 millimeters. Now, to demonstrate this sensor, and inspired by our engineer Drew, I've built it into a smartwatch. Now, Drew is much more of an electrical engineer than I am, so his smartwatch does many more things than mine do, as he's programmed them to do. Since I lean more towards the mechanical engineering side, mine may look nice, but really, all it can do is tell me the temperature. That's okay, little smartwatch. Like my friend Jeff's mom used to say to him, this life pretty, next life smart. Now, here in Colorado, the temperature can be tricky, especially if you're not used to this climate. And by that I mean what the temperature actually is and how you feel might not always align. Now, a lot of the times, don't get me wrong, the weather here is amazing. And a lot of times, the weather is ideal, or especially if you're in an indoor environment like this. So let's see, my watch will tell me, oh, look at that, 75.6 degrees, enjoy this great day. But in the warmer months, with the sun high overhead, the temperature can spike pretty quickly. But it's a dry heat, really, it is. And so you might not notice that all of a sudden it's in the 90s. Luckily, thanks to smartwatch, and I will simulate temperature spike with body heat, it's 83 degrees, drink some more water. Now, in the winter, the opposite can be true. The sun's out a lot here in the winter, but that doesn't mean it's not still cold. Like if you're in the sun and it's cold and you feel warm, you're like, oh, this is great, but you hit a shadow, you freeze instantly. Smartwatch knows, well, this life pretty, next life smartwatch, and it'll tell me. So like it may seem warm, but a quick check of my watch will tell me that it's actually 54.9 degrees out and tells me that I should at least wear a hat. And if the temperature gets too cold, my watch will insist that I bundle up, Buttercup. So there you have it. A high-accuracy, ultra-low-power digital temperature sensor on your choice of 2 different boards that you can have up and running or integrate into your existing project with just a couple dozen lines of code. I mean, what could be simpler? So pick up your SparkFun Temperature Sensor STTS22H over at SparkFun.com and do me a favor. Stay safe, be kind, and happy hacking. So pick up your SparkFun, what's it called? SparkFun Temperature Sensor. If you need long time over things happening stuff, means it means that 3 weeks time. Consumption is a huge plus for the battery powered projects. Should we go outside? Good night, everybody.